Hey guys, I wanted to spend like 5 minutes kind of talking about Ojama plays and like from the let's develop, let's make Ojamas as good as they can get. So one of the things I want to point out is like this card, like card destruction with Oja Magic. So before you would do this, you'd want to activate King of this and then set your polymerization so that you would not lose the polymerization. But then you would just discard all these. One, two, three, four. Kind of sucks that you lose the cast, but one, two, three, four. And then you'd be able to search off of that magic. So this is like a very essential combo of the Ojama engine. One, two, three. This is why you're going to see a lot of people play like Trigodia and stuff, is because it plays like this. But I don't in this version just because. All right. Now, as you can see, we've drawn into like a pot of avarice because, as you can see, we want to load the graveyard up very quickly. So then we are going to do a simple morphing jar set, karma cut, and then we're going to set here. And then call it a day. And then probably also poly just to get the Ojama. So like also then I just want to explain that like when you're playing Ojamas, you want to as quickly as possible establish a presence with knights and king as much as possible because we want to well actually in this situation then since we're going to be losing our hand anyway, we want to get Ojama king. This three zones is a lot. That'll make them prioritize trying to kill this thing. And then also now we have the Karma Alive. Plus we could pot Avarice if we really wanted to. You know what I mean? That's also part of the reason why we went to polymerization as quickly as possible is because we want to load the graveyard up as fast as possible so that our pot of Avarice is live as fast as possible. But just in this situation, we just don't want to load it up because we're going to be flipping off of the morphine jar. So then that, like, let's say, for instance, what we want to happen happens. So we're going to hit the grave, karma cut, deny them whatever play as much as possible. And then the morphine jar is going to survive somehow. So we're going to flip summon on our turn. Let's do what we draw for turn first. Okay, perfect. So we got a King of the Swamp again. And then you'd want to set that. And then draw for turn. So now we're looking into these. So now that our deck is kind of drawn through, we're no longer afraid to put these back into the grave. So then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Personally, I think King of the Swamp would be good here. So, well, now let's just go and try to get. So there's kind of no reason to put these back because we have 2 copies of each name back there in the deck now. We like to draw them, but we don't really want to draw them. But then I'm gonna go King of the Swamp because we want to see another poly. See like that. That's why. Yeah. Yep. So now we still have an Ojama Magic Live at least, but now we have plays for days. So like Debris Dragon can bring back the Ojama King. Debris Dragon can bring back an Ojama that you send to the graveyard, and then you can either synchro with it or you can destroy the enemy. So now we, like I was saying, like the poly is super important to get as much of them to your hand as possible because now we can go into cards like Ojama Knight, and now we have like a lock. You know, if you manage to get this type of board, you're going to be able to lock their field a little bit. You know, the Lightning Vortex, clear the field, Debris Dragon, whatever, you know, bring back blue. And now you can go blue Suicide, and then when you kill the blue Suicide or whatever, now you can search out like Country and Magic. That's usually the targets I go for. But also, too, you have Ojama Trio to go for. So, like, there's like all these different types of plays. So now we have the Country Live, which means we can change our monsters to attack position. We can use this, say they kill the king. We can use Country to bring back king. And then also just search those last copies of the vanillas. You want to prioritize getting Ojama Magic off because you want to thin your deck. It's your what is it called? It's your Upstart Goblin. Makes your deck 3 cards less, and it's very sacky. But like we can kind of get away with it in Ojama format, or yeah, I'm gonna call it Ojama format, Edison format, because a lot of the decks are really slow and not as powerful as like formats going forward. So this would be an awesome hand as well because of you would not want to use Trio until you got the Ojama Knight on board. But for instance, let's just pop this. You'd want to drop Magic. So like with these discard cards, I used to do this a lot. I would wait for Country, then use country and then magic and then try to get the search off, but you want to use it during your opponent's turn as much as possible so that you lower the chances of you drawing into another one. So you can see here, to the grave, get that poly, and we're just going to load the grave up. Actually, so we have the second Ojama magic, or second Regeki break here, it would be kind of beneficial to go for just 8. Just so we get the plus. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit over what I wanted to go for today, but now we have those 2 engrave. So 1, 2, 3 engrave. We got the fusion out. And now during your opponent's turn, we can interrupt and pop a card on the field, drop this to grave. And then even if they do manage to get rid of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we want the adverse play. And we go into a card destruction. So you could, you know what I mean? If you don't want the Caius, that's kind of lame, but it is what it is. Pot Avarice, you know, continue the plays. So it's not a perfect deck, but it is not a dead deck either. I would put this at tier 2 at least. But I'm going to keep working on it and try to get it up to the highest, the best it can get. So this is kind of like going through Ojama plays, part 1. I might do a few of these, but thanks for watching.